Sean Lennon here with the Fight Report. If you haven't, please subscribe. Make sure you get in touch with us so you get all of our MMA news and all of our MMA videos. So subscribe right now on the Fightlete Report. And right now we've got a special guest on the show. We welcome Featherweight Pro native Donnie Simpson, Illinois native Donnie Simpson to the Fight Report, and he is fighting David Lewis at AFC Alabama Fighting Championship, Smoke in the Hills at Gladsen, Alabama, and he is 2018 Fight Report Regional MMA Award winner for Pro Debut of the Year back in 2018 at XFL Outdoor War. I believe it was XFL Outdoor War 14. And now he trains at Jungle MMA in Orlando, Florida, which is a big gym. So we are excited, to get back in touch with you, Donnie. And, excited, I'm sure, as you are, that you are fighting again. And it's been since your professional debut, since you had a fight. So that's my first question is talk about getting this fight, getting this opportunity. Because, when we last talked, you said that you were going to strictly just be a wrestling coach. I don't know if your interest was there to fight anymore. So it's been about 2.5 years since your last one.
Yeah, no. I wanted to fight. It was wrestling. I was working full time as an electrician, and I'm not currently doing that with COVID. Stuff happened like that, and me and my wife made some decisions, and it worked out where I didn't have to go back to work full time. I'm able to just coach wrestling, and so I had to stay at home with my kids, and she's going to school full time and also works as well. And she'll be done with clinicals here in a little bit, and it'll help out the schedule even a little bit more. But it was just something we had to make a decision on. And, it worked out, with paying for childcare and all that type of stuff. Not to get too into it, but yeah. So we just made the decision that I was going to stay at home, and it has worked out. And we were sitting there one day, and we just kind of had the decision, I love competing. It doesn't really matter. I did a couple wrestling tournaments, open wrestling tournaments when I was coaching in Alabama. When I'm in Illinois, I've done some tournaments and stuff like that. I just enjoy competing still. And like I said, I when I seen Jamie Simmons get his shot in the UFC, and I know a lot of guys are getting that opportunity right now. I was like, man, if I would have put those 4 fights together like he did and took those same fights, I think that's me in there,
Sure.
So
that's true.
It took a little fire under me and made me want to get back in there. And and I'm always wrestling. I'm always wrestling with nationally ranked high school kids. So I'm always in decent shape for I never get ridiculously too out of shape. So
definitely. And that was your pro debut was against Jamie Simmons, and as you mentioned, he's now in UFC as well. So definitely something to keep in mind, right? How did you fight? How did you start training at Jungle MMA? I know it's home to UFC women's featherweight Felicia Spencer. I'm sure there's a lot more up and coming fighters, but that's the biggest name.
She's definitely the biggest name probably out of the gym. Everybody knows Felicia and stuff, and like I said, she's in there every day. She teaches a kids class. She does all the, what I mean. She's an active person. She's not just doesn't do privates and stuff. She does the classes with everybody else. Super cool, normal person. But yeah, there's a lot of guys in there. I don't know their last names because I'm just not on that basis with some of them. But we have a guy named Luke Puste who's a 115-pound pro who's pretty tough. We got Miles Amos who fought in LFA and Titan, and he's right on the cusp of being in the UFC. I think he's 4-1. He could get in a contender series or a Bellator for sure. So and we have tons of guys come in and come and train and help out and stuff like that. So we've got a good stable of young up and comers, and there's a lot of 35 and 45-pound bodies in there, which is nice.
Oh, nice. That's great. You got many to work with. Talk about how you feel you're ready for the fight. I mean, you have that high level wrestling background you bring, being a wrestling coach. So what can we expect? I mean, anything that you want to try out for this fight that we hadn't seen? Obviously, your first professional fight was a pretty short one. It was in the first round. You finished it. So what can we expect, you think?
I mean, I tell everybody, everybody always asks, hey, when are you going to stand? When are you going to stand? When the guys make me, right. when that guy can really decide to make the fight a standing fight and make that and I'm comfortable being there, I've trained with some pretty good people. I was out at Jackson's for a whole year and held my own. I'm standing up, you know, every day I'm working on my striking, you know, because it's definitely not my strong suit. It's definitely not, you know, I'm not one of those guys who's like, I'm gonna go out there and knock this guy out now. Like, no, everybody probably knows. Like, I'm one of my best friends is Curtis Blades. Like, I'm the same as him. Like, I have the same mentality as Curtis. Like, if until that guy can stop me from wrestling, I'm like, why am I not gonna do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, so you know, but I'm very comfortable standing or being on my back, you know, and getting up and doing what I have to do. You know, I've been training MMA since I was, 12 years old. I started training at my church with a guy, you know, so I've been training MMA and grappling, submissions, and doing a little bit of striking that long. It's just not something I competed in. But like I said, the game plan is definitely, you know, take the guy down. I think he's definitely a guy, if you watch his fights, I mean, he ends up getting taken down in a lot of the fights, but I mean, he's a tough dude. He gets up, he fights. He's not a guy who just give up his back and be done with it. It's definitely going to be a fight, and he's gonna try to kick me in the head, punch me in the head. So it'll be a good one.
Definitely. I mean, you know, we see David Lewis, who you're fighting, is coming off his first pro win by submission. So this should be a really highly anticipated matchup. How do your coaches feel about it?
Good. So actually my coach, none of my coaches from the jungle can make the actual fight. But like Mike Lee and Seth Petrozelli are in there. And then our striking coach, Alex Brooks, is I'm working with him every day. And I actually have Shane Adams from Northern Illinois Combat Club, you know, my coach from Illinois, coming down to be my main corner. And then so he'll be doing that. And we're real comfortable with the fight. You know, I talked to all these guys before, you know, I asked Mike Lee at the jungle, you know, what do you think? And, you know, I'm competing in there every day, you know, training, and said it was definitely a good comeback fight. You know, I think it's the right fight to come back for, you know.
Sure. Talk about, you know, you trained with Clay Guida, and now he's fighting Michael Johnson tomorrow. So how do you feel he does in that fight? I mean, are you excited to see him throw down? You know, I think he was at your fight for XFO, your pro debut. So you guys.
Yeah. So I literally just texted Clay, but before me and you actually messaged today. Just told him good luck and stuff like that, and he messaged back, and we were just talking about my fight and stuff like that. But yeah, I think he's gonna beat Michael Johnson. I think that's another good fight for Clay. I think the matchup is the right type of fight for Clay. And I think with the right fights, I think Clay can be right back in the top 10. You know, he's a hard fight for anybody. Like I said, you know, obviously the UFC's changing and stuff's different, and you know they're pushing certain people in that lightweight division. But like I said, nobody wants to fight Clay Guida. That's not a fight anybody's like, oh, I'll fight Clay Guida. Like there's like very few guys that want to do that.
Definitely.
So like I said, I think he's going to take him down and wear Michael Johnson out. I think that's what'll happen.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. So no Olympics this year, you know, with the COVID-19, and so many wrestlers couldn't compete. What are your thoughts on that? You know, from your standpoint, did that affect you know, your coaching? Stuff like that?
We shut down pretty hardcore. You know, I coach at a Central Florida Wrestling Academy, and it's based out of Lake Highland Prep, which is a really nice school down here. And they shut us down, obviously, and just like everybody, you know, we had to shut down and do the proper things and keep everybody safe. So we did that, but as soon as we were able to, we were back open, the doors were open, and we were training and getting our kids ready for competitions. And we've been traveling and doing the thing. And the Olympics being shut down, that didn't affect us per se. You know, I coach high school kids. That's not really like where we're at, but obviously, like, you know, our seasons have been messed up. We've been on this, you know, we're not in a state organization. We do prep stuff. We do prep nationals, and right now we don't even have a date for that. When the prep nationals is like our state tournament, which is what we, you know, our end of the season tournament. So we've been traveling over and just doing these big national tournaments in states that are open, getting our kids the national ranked matches and doing that. So it's been difficult, but it's definitely been a cool experience to teach the kids, because it's never bad to be prepared. You know.
Definitely. We can't wait to see, you know, obviously wrestling come back. That's a huge deal, you know, whether it would be Olympic wrestling or Makes it a
Yeah,
lot.
like I said, man, hopefully I got a couple not close friends this year trying to make the Olympic team or anything like that, but people that I know that I've been watching wrestle and been around wrestling for a couple years and huge fan of that this is their opportunity to make that Olympic team. This is their cycle. This is the
Definitely.
time when they would be able to do it. And if they don't have an Olympics to do it, it'd be a terrible thing. People don't understand, without the Olympics for wrestling, it wouldn't be a thing. It would be like jujitsu. It wouldn't be a
Hmm.
college sport. It would very quickly die off and not be what it is, and have the community it does. So it's definitely important that we have the Olympics and we are able to get those going. So I'm hoping with COVID and all that stuff, it's dying down and we can they get going in 2021 and do Tokyo.
Excellent. Talk about what you're using for recovery between each session.
So I'm actually sponsored by Ascent Protein, a really high grade protein company. One of my wrestling parents. I'm not exactly sure what he does for Ascent Protein, but he's in the company there, and he just offered me, messaged me one day and seen I was training and stuff, and asked me if I would like to be have their products. And I've never really been a huge supplement guy. But I can definitely tell the difference when I am taking their protein to when I'm not. It's very high grade, and like I said, Jack Eisenhut at Ascent Protein. I can't thank the guy enough for getting me all the products, the pre-workouts, and the BCAAs and all those things, shaker bottles, and just bunch of gear. So they really hooked me up. And like I said, you definitely should check them out. Anybody who's looking into the fitness products and stuff like that, Ascent is the highest grade protein that you can get on the market. It's literally other protein companies, from when the way Jack explained it to me, they buy Ascent's protein and sell it to them.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
like I
wow.
said, and they like cut it and then make it not as good. So it's like the one bad review on Ascent stuff is like it's the highest priced protein, but it's because it's the highest quality protein as well. So
Definitely.
yeah.
Glad that you're able to connect with them and
Yeah,
you're able to
no,
use
I
them.
mean, like I said, I work at a really, really nice school, and I'm connected with a lot of people. It's how I got connected at the Jungle. One of my wrestling dads, another one of the youth wrestling guys, not even a high school guy, one of his kids started doing jujitsu, and then he brought his kid to wrestling at Lake Highland Prep. He's a Lake Highland Prep student, and he just referred me over there, and he was like, hey, if you want to train and go over there. And this was before I was even planning on fighting or anything. This is when I first moved to town, just wanted to go
Right.
roll around, hang out. And he's like, hey, you should go over there. And I was like, all right. And he hooked me up. And then Mike Lee, right, the day I walked in the Jungle, the owner of the Jungle, he's like you gonna fight again? And like, kind of put it in my ear. He's like, we'd
Right.
love to have you fight for us, and I was like, I don't know, I'm coaching, takes up a lot of time. But so yeah, I definitely it's good having a couple of these connections down here at the school and through the wrestling academy and through some of these parents and stuff. It's been really helpful, and I can't thank them enough.
And what do you feel like at this point? Who has helped you the most throughout your training camp? Anyone that you feel like has contributed the most for your success?
Just all the guys at the Jungle, Luke, Miles, Drew, Coach Andrew, or Coach Alec, and Mike. Those guys are all. They're really detailed. They're there every single day. They're putting the time in, and like anything I ask extra or anything like that, they're always giving it to me. Alex giving pad work all the time, and he's, like I said, they're all good dudes. And all those guys at the Jungle have been putting in a lot of work. The other night I was rolling, I rolled with Felicia, and she's a great, like, I'm not nearly as good on the ground as Felicia, and you can learn, tons of people can learn stuff from her, even as good as I am. Like, she gets you off balance, and she makes you, you still have to work, so tons of people at the Jungle, all of them. And then there's even people in there, like there's a kid named Mike Meyerson, who's in there. He's like a lead singer to like a screamo band, who,
Oh,
the
wow.
guy, he could definitely fight. I don't know if he's ever fought a day in his life. He's one of those gym rat guys, but
Sure.
the dude is tough. If he wanted to do kickboxing, he 100% could end up on like a undercard of Glory or something like that. And
Wow.
like I said, I think he's like a tech guy. He comes in during the day and works out like when he has time, and and he's out. But like the dude could definitely fight.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And what can we expect when you fight AFC 6, Smoke in the Hills, and what can we expect from this fight?
Man, it's gonna be a show, and like I said, I'm ready for everything. I'm in really good shape. You can expect a high pace fight, and I definitely think I'll get the finish on this guy. I don't know when or anything like that. I think if I keep the pace and the pressure and the things I've been doing well in camp, I think I'll find a way to finish him either on the feet or on the ground somewhere.
Well, I appreciate you again, Donnie. It's been great to connect with you here on the Fightlete Report, and we appreciate you getting us that shirt, the photo of the shirt. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry it took so long, man.
Oh, no worries.
Funny, it was actually my daughter's closet. That's where it was.
Ah.
I didn't throw that thing away. I was like, I didn't even wear it. So no, I appreciate it, man. It gets worn at training all the time. So thank you, Sean.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. And, we welcome you back on the show anytime, but best of luck to you. Everybody check it out. If you're in the area, make sure to check out AFC Smoke in the Hills, Gladsen, Alabama. I'm not sure if it's streaming on pay-per-view. I would assume nowadays almost everything's streaming on.
Yeah, I think Sam, the promoter Sam, is gonna have a pay-per-view stream and stuff. So if they get on my Facebook, on February 20th, you can definitely buy that pay-per-view and check it out, and obviously click under my name and do all that stuff. So
definitely. And I'm sure there'll be fans there in Alabama.
Yeah. There's definitely fans. I got my whole family from Illinois coming down. My brother from Houston's coming down. It's gonna be like a little family reunion stuff, so it's good.
Well, best of luck, Donnie. And if you want to plug anything or tell us your social media handle, go ahead.
No, yeah, just thank you to all of the sponsors. I did not anticipate when I asked a couple people to sponsor me. I did not anticipate the amount of people that reached out. Just Ward Wrestling Live, Little Vinny's Pizza. Ascent Protein. That Pillow Guy. Hydroforce. All these companies, like I said, they messaged me and reached out, and it was really great, man. The college recruiting code, AJ Rodriguez, and there's a Facebook page that of a bunch of concrete guys that sponsored me. So
nice.
Yeah. So like I said, man, it's really cool. As soon as I said I was fighting again, I had a bunch, and I was like, hey, I could try to get some people to help me with medicals. And they did, and it was awesome, man. It was awesome. So I really appreciate those guys, and it made these last few weeks and months a lot easier. So I appreciate it. So thank you, Sean.
No worries. And you have Instagram at all or no?
Yeah, I have Instagram. My Instagram is dsimpson9691, and then my that's the only one I use. That's it.
Okay, cool.
I'm not one of those guys who posts a lot of like training stuff or anything like that. And I'm private, so like I don't even it's mostly my kids and my reptiles, so it's probably not that too many people.
Well, I appreciate you again, Donnie. Best of luck. Everybody check out AFC 6, Smoke in the Hills. We will be posting the pay-per-view information once we got it on the post for this interview as well. And we appreciate you, Donnie. Best of luck, and look forward to seeing you in the future.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean.
Anytime. Take care.